Barakatah Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rachakodash. Welcome to another live lesson. This pretty much is just an update on the shadows. Those of you that have been, or the shadow, or shadows, however they were, many they were. This was on an incident down in Miami. The brothers from Miami, or from the Florida area, they gave an account or update to what's going on, and pretty much the young elder Bunsapad sent me the video, and I was checking it out, and pretty much what they were saying that whole incident that was taken down place down there in that mall area down there was based off of a bunch of Jakes. It said about 50 young Jakes, as Elder Pastor Gabar, Rakar calls them, GMO babies, were down there causing ruckus, tearing shit up. They said they were firing firecrackers that sound like gunshots. They were beating people's ass or something along those lines. And that's the reason why there were so many cops that, swarmed that mall like that. Cause like I said, I seen a whole lot of them. And I believe the brother said that the shadows, could have been angels. They could have been spirits. They could have just been, evil spirits that the Lord sent out there for that purpose. Because you do have evil spirits, you do have righteous spirits, and they both work for the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Now, there's a scripture in the book of Psalms, the 78th chapter. Just bear with me right quick as I find the verse. Psalm 78 and 49. He cast upon them the fierceness of his anger, wrath and indignation and trouble by sending evil angels among them. So that could very well be those shadows. Those were actual demons, spirits that were causing that havoc to stir up, among those young Jakes out there that were actually tearing shit up, beating people's ass and all of that stuff, from the report that we got from the brothers out there. And I believe they're in Miami also. So that's an update on that. But I got another precept I want to read real quick and then close it out with that. This is the book of Ecclesiastes 39 and 28. So there's a lot of stuff happening, man. A lot of stuff. It says there be spirits that are created for vengeance. And that's the key, spirits. Now sometimes these spirits could come in an apparition form or so-called ghostly form. They could just be there and jump on people and cause them to do certain things. They could just, manifest themselves in many different ways and cause people to do certain things. Or they could just be there and, work on the minds of those Jakes that were there to tear shit up, to cause havoc, to cause a stir. Because remember, 2024 is the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble. So it says there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. And why are they laying on sore strokes? Because the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai put the spirit on them to do so. It says in the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Right, because all of that chaos that was happening with those Jakes was to pretty much stir up the pot even more and more, between the civilians, especially Jakes, and the cops, and cause, extreme havoc to happen to where it can push, the time of Jacob's trouble even that much closer. It says fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance, right? And that's why you see fires breaking out, hail breaking out, famines, death. When people, get stirred up and they're, fighting one another, that's another way or another form, of these spirits being stirred up. We go to Isaiah real quick before we read on. Isaiah chapter 45 and verse 7. And it reads, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord Yahweh, do all these things. So the Lord is the one that's creating all of this ruckus that you see going on. He's putting the spirit, on certain angels to work on the minds of different individuals on the planet to create this, stir this stuff up. Because the Lord said his words don't go out void. So all of the stuff that's going on is pretty much stirring everything in the direction of Jacob's trouble and towards the end. Right? So going back to Ecclesiasticus chapter 30, 39 and 30 now. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction. And don't be surprised if you start seeing wild animals even more and more coming into the cities, tearing people's asses up. Because that's the Lord putting the spirit on them to do so, to fulfill prophecy. It says, they shall rejoice in his commandment, and they shall be ready upon earth when need is. And these things are already set. Everything is already set. All the Lord has to do is push one button. It says, and when their time is come, they shall not transgress his word. Right, because they're going to fulfill his mission. Because remember, these spirits work for the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, and all they think about is pleasing Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. They never disobey him. They're just waiting there in the wings, to do whatever the Lord wants them to do. It says, therefore from the beginning, I was resolved and thought upon these things and have left them in writing. All the works of the Lord are good, and he will give every needful thing in due season, so that a man cannot say, this is worse than that, for in the time they shall all be well approved. And therefore praise ye the Lord with the whole heart and mouth, and bless the name of the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. So all these things are being stirred up on the planet. So pretty much that was the report. That the update is that it was like 50 young Jakes that were running wild, out there in that mall, tearing shit up, beating people's ass from what I kind of remembered, and setting off firecrackers, and that's what got all those cops riled up, because that one video I was talking about, you had the one individual up on a building, and he was high up, and he was panning the camera in front of that mall, and you could see at least it had to be 100 cop cars, and then he was panning the camera around, and you see more cop cars coming, to the scene. So it was, and I believe there might have been some military type vehicles, black vehicles or something like that, probably unmarked, vehicles of police. So don't be surprised if that lead. Well, of course it's going to lead to more legislation, but don't be surprised if Jacob's trouble comes a lot sooner than what you think. Because it is possible, because you see shit being stirred up. So I just wanted to give that quick report. I know a lot of you brothers out there probably already know about it, but I just sent it to a couple of the bishops and Elder Apostle Gabar, because we all have WhatsApp. I sent it to them. I sent them a video, of the update that the brother gave from, I believe he's from the Miami camp. So pretty much I just wanted to give a quick update on that for those that didn't know. Shalom, Yahweh Shem Shah Barakatah. To the elect.